tell you, we were talking about all these young guys in fights we're clamoring to see. Well, it's nice to see that one of these fights is actually being made. I know you've been looking forward to this. De La Hoya, Oscar De La Hoya is going to fight Vitor Belfort, former UFC light heavyweight champ, on September 11th on Triller. A fight everyone's been looking for. Talk to me. What are you looking forward to most in this fight?
The day after.
We've got two guys that the drug testing protocol should probably be much different for both of them. We've got Vitor Belfort, who's been widely known or associated with PEDs, and Oscar De La Hoya, who's been widely connected with recreational drugs, to say the least. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of protocol they have in place for testing for this fight.
Oh, boy, I don't know if there is a protocol that can handle
Those are going to be expensive tests to get a test for all those substances. When you do those tests, you got to test for every substance.
You just answered it, though. There's going to be no test because there'd be no fight if there was a test. So there's going to, remember that line from the first Rocky? Ain't going to be a rematch. Don't want one.
Yeah.
ain't going to be a rematch. Don't want one. Ain't going to be no testing. Don't want one. That's don't want no testing. Don't want none. Okay, no problem. So, listen, what can I say? Oh, my goodness. I don't know. Why is De La Hoya doing it? Is he doing? He's made so much money. I don't think it's for the money. I don't know. Nobody knows anyone else's home until they live in that home. So you don't know what's behind the doors if he needs money. I don't think he does. I think he needs attention. I said it a long time ago. I'm not trying to knock him, but it's going to come out this way. What can I do? But he needs a dog.
Yeah.
He needs a dog. He needs a puppy. Because sometimes really it's the greatest thing you can do for somebody that's sad and somebody that's having emotional issue. And I think it's it's a far stretch that I'm saying things that anyone else can't figure out. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't have to be Dr. Phil to say that Oscar's got some emotional stuff going on. I mean, after the way he went on the broadcast of that fight with whatever that was.
Crash.
I mean, God Almighty. I
can't believe no one jumped in and was like, Oscar, stop.
Yeah,
You're too banged up. We can't
That's where you need
camera.
a referee, like the great Mills Lane. Remember, he was so great. Where he come in and no more.
Yeah.
Like just put his arm around him. That's it. Son, it's over tonight, son. No, but I want to go on. No, it's over, son.
You're too banged
it's
up.
Done. You're too banged up, son. I'm looking out for you, son. You'll understand someday. But again, you hope that it's not for the money, but it's probably maybe for attention. That De La Hoya needs attention. That again, he needs something. He needs something to define him. He needs something to make him relevant. Maybe he went through some tough things losing Canelo. Listen, he brought it on himself, it sounds like. So I'm not trying in any way, to make excuses for him, but it was tough losing the biggest fighter, I guess, the biggest star. I think it's fair to say probably the biggest star. Maybe you could say Fury is a huge star too, especially if he beats Wilder again. But I think it's fair to say Canelo's probably the biggest star, or if not the biggest, right there in boxing. And he loses him. His promotional company loses him. So he's gone through the ringer. He's gone through the emotional ringer. And again, doing the stuff that obviously it looks like he's doing doesn't help. It doesn't help. Whatever it is that he's ingesting into his body or whatever he's doing. I don't know what he was on that night, but whatever it was, or a mix of whatever it was, alcohol, or maybe it was just alcohol. I don't know what it was. Because I didn't do a test on him, but obviously he's hurting. Obviously he has been hurting. Obviously he's been in some ways screaming for help. I don't know if this is the help that he needs to get in the ring to make him relevant again. and to get attention again. I don't know. I don't know that I would let this guy fight. I know that he's not fighting a fighter. He's fighting a former MMA fighter who was a very, very good MMA fighter. Tremendous.
Former champion UFC.
UFC champ. Doesn't get much better than that. Terrific. Belfort. I mean, tremendous. Good puncher, fast hands, knows how to strike. He's not on the level of a fighter, a boxer, a former champion like De La Hoya. He can't go into the rules that would give him a big edge, which is his domain of going on the floor, where he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and where, of course, he could destroy De La Hoya, and he's physically bigger and stronger than De La Hoya. He's not going to be able to do that. Will he be able to use his strength in a boxing ring with De La Hoya, who's an accomplished fighter, accomplished champion, former champion, but he's old, and De La Hoya has put his body through some trials, right? There's no doubt about that. So what are we going to get? We're going to get a way past his prime De La Hoya, who hasn't always probably lived the right life, who's coming back, but he still knows how to box in his sleep better than a Belfort, who I'm taking nothing away from. I'm not criticizing him, because I just said he was a great champion in his domain, in his realm. And part of that was striking, but not to the level, of a top fighter. So people are going to probably watch. They're going to be interested. Probably the best promotion for it is when De La Hoya was blowing up on that broadcast, when it was sad. It was like watching a Jerry Springer show, where these people, it's sad to watch. It's uncomfortable to watch people sometimes, when they go down those roads and they're suffering in that way, and they don't even know what they're doing to themselves, how embarrassing it is. They don't realize it's tough. And maybe that might, as bad as that is, that might be what promotes this fight. People want to see, how will De La Hoya act? Will he implode? Will he beat De La Hoya again? The way he was as a fighter. Can he redeem himself? Or will he just be a mess? Because people stop to watch messes. They stop to watch car accidents, unfortunately. They hold traffic up to watch car accidents, unfortunately. Sometimes that's what happens with people. Really. We're funny. We're funny, us human beings. We're strange. We're good. We're great sometimes, and sometimes we're not as great. Sometimes we can be a little bit weird and not so great. So listen. People are going to watch it, I bet you. I bet you people will watch it.
For sure.
And two older guys that I just broke it down the best I can. I'm sure people watch it. Listen, if De La Hoya, you just said it well, that Belfort, one thing about him is he's in shape, even if it's fortified by something, if it's helped by some supplements, I don't know. But he's in shape. It seems like he takes care of himself from a physical standpoint. De La Hoya hasn't taken care of himself. Will he have enough time to take care of himself, to get in shape? That's all part of the questions. That's all part that's going to sell this thing. If De La Hoya could get in shape, people are going to say, just like they did with the Mayweather fight, with one of the Paul brothers, that the size is going to matter. But if a fighter is right and a fighter knows how to fight, the size don't matter. You can give up 20 pounds, 30 pounds. Obviously, Mayweather, 44 years old, hadn't fought for 4 years. He was still able to handle a bigger guy, because he made a mess, and it doesn't matter. Because you know how to fight. And the same thing could be at play here. And that's why I'm saying this, because I know that's going to be part of the questions out there. What about the size, Ted? He's a bigger guy, Belfort. Won't that matter? No, it won't matter if De La Hoya can bring back some of the skills that he once had. I doubt that he can be anywhere close. And of course, he's not going to be close to what he was. But if he can show some of those skills, then the size don't matter so much, because you nullify that. You as a competent boxer, you nullify the size advantage by making him miss, by knowing how to deal with size, where size doesn't become relevant, where he's not able to use that strength in a way that it's an advantage. So that's it. It's going to be a crazy time again. People are going to watch it, I guess. You know, they should start doing like the football games and having tailgates for these things. They should. Really, that would fit right in. And I bet you somebody just heard me saying they're going to do it. They're going to charge an extra $100 to come to a tailgate before and get blitzed, right? Get all blitzed up and then watch, whatever it is that takes place in front of you.
Yep.
It's not a football game, but it'll be something.
With that, Teddy, I hope you have a great 4th of July weekend.
Wait a minute. There's no other carnival acts to talk about. There's no
I'm trying to space them out.
What about the 3-headed lady? I mean, there's what about the snake man? Yeah, you got something for me? Come on, you got to have something else.
I think the bearded lady from the Atlantic City Boardwalk is supposed to fight later in the summer, but we'll get into that at a later date.
There it is, Ken. There it is. Beautiful.